silence or turn off your cell phones at this time. I'm going to call representatives from Bethany Elementary School forward to lead us in the pledge. Please stand for the pledge.
Good evening. I have Amira Mode here who's going to lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance, and then Mrs. Bogle will take over.
Ready? Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please take your seats.
Make it a little bit more kid level there. Good evening. Tonight I have the pleasure of introducing you to the Kindness Task Force. Go ahead and stand up, guys. We have lots of members, but we have 6 of them here with us tonight. We have Brooklyn Lee, Romeo King, Seth Love, Dominic Moreno, Amira Mode, who you just met, and Sophia Alea.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
The KTF, as they call themselves, started up organically a couple months ago when I noticed that I had been spending a lot of time with 6th graders talking about hurt feelings. So I pulled together a group of students with various leadership capabilities, and I asked them, how can we make kindness cool again? And so tonight they're going to talk to you about how they're working to accomplish that.
Ms. Bogle explained to us how saying mean things, even in a joking way, that we need to internalize these words. Some people might get sad, some people might get angry, and others may keep it to themselves. We all decided to not be mean. I remember saying, before we can correct ourselves, before we can correct others, we have to correct ourselves.
We also talked about a few other problems we've been having in 6th grade. Gossiping and spreading rumors had to stop too. We came up with phrases to teach everyone to use when trash talk, gossip, and rumors were spreading. The phrases are, rumors don't have humor, they don't make you cooler. If they're not there, save your air. And put your trash talk in the garbage where it belongs. We also created a pact for all of 6th grade to sign.
After we figured out what we were going to do, we had to figure out a way to do it. So we started handing out tickets to all 6th graders that were doing nice things for others. And every Friday, we pull out 10 tickets and give them tokens. And they could get candy or exchange it out for something bigger later.
After we had our plan in place, we met with all of 6th grade in groups of 10. Afterwards, we talked about our plan with the tickets, and we invited all of them to say the pact with us. We had everyone sign the pact, and we hung them up in their classrooms. We recite the pact every morning.
Others, such as Sophia and I, decided to join KTF after it began because we wanted to help make Bethany better. In my opinion, the best part of KTF is helping others make better choices.
As a result of KTF, 72.6% of students decided, 72.6 of the students said that the conflict had stopped after KTF began. Moving forward, we will be meeting with all 6th graders every Friday. We will be teaching them our phrases, creating wallets for them to store their coins, teaching them the 6 levels of behavior, and creating a KTF for 7th grade.
You guys have any questions for them?
That was fabulous. Thank you for doing this work.
I thought that was great. Can I join the KTF?
You can. Just
We're going to
send me
join
an email.
together.
That's how we do it.
I'm really impressed, and I want to share this with my school. Can I share it with the kids that I teach? Sure. Excellent. Thank you very much. I'm very impressed, especially with your percentages of reduction in conflict. That's cool.
Very well done.
done a
Thank
great
you.
job.
Good job.
Very nice presentation. Thank you. Roll call, please.
Matthew Balzerini.
Here.
Colin Clements.
Here.
Ann Goodrich.
Here.
Sharon Lampel.
Here.
David Pombo.
Here.
Simran Gunsi.
Absent.
Item 4, annual reorganization of the governing board of officers. Call for nomination for board president.
I nominate David Pombo.
Second.
Are there any further nominations for board president?
I'll nominate Sharon Lampel.
Second?
Second myself. I'll second.
I seconded.
Oh, okay. I didn't hear
I was
that.
about to.
Further nominations? All in favor of David Pombo for board president?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
We had 3 ayes, so that is the consensus of the board. I will continue on as board president. Call for nominations for board clerk. I nominate Colin Clements for board clerk.
Second.
I'll nominate Sharon Lampel for board clerk.
Second. Seeing no further nominations, all in favor of Colin Clements for board clerk? Aye.
Aye.
All in favor, all opposed?
Nay.
Nay.
All in favor of Sharon Lampel for board clerk?
Aye.
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 Aye. Sharon Lampel will become board clerk. Nominations for representatives for County Committee of District Representation.
I'll nominate David Pombo.
I'll second.
And I will nominate
Who does this now?
Matthew and I.
Okay.
I will nominate Matthew Balzerini.
I'll second.
Are there any further nominations? All in favor of the 2 nominees?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Trustee Balzerini and I will continue on as district representatives. Consider approval of appointing Dr. Clerk Nicholas as secretary of the board.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Dr. Kirk Nicholas will continue as secretary to the board. We swap seats at this point, right?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm not Matt Balzerini. Oh.
Approval and/or corrections to the agenda.
There are none.
Move to approve the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item 6, presentation, Mountain House High School hackathon students.
Tonight we asked our hackathon team and their leader, Mr. Faubert, if you wanted to introduce folks, you'd be welcome to come up to the podium and introduce it. But we have some really great stuff coming out from these high school students, and we wanted to give them a chance to show what they're doing.
So I'm going to invite Mrs. Tracy Lewis up with her students, and they're going to introduce themselves and give you a little presentation about the work that they've been doing this year with computer science. Come on up.
Welcome.
Thank you very much for inviting us tonight. I'd like to present you with three of our future leaders in computer science. We have Aditi Sen, Adia Mishra, and Ruth Hennon, and they will be telling you about the Mountain House pathway and our work with hackathons and other events that we have for the students at Mountain House High School.
Good afternoon, good evening. So I'm a student in the computer science principles course, and currently we've been, since this is an AP course, we are preparing for the AP exam that we will be taking at the end of the year. So currently we've been working on agile programming, bits and bytes, algorithms in Python, as well as object-oriented programming. So right now we're also working on controlling VEX robots using JavaScript. So, yes.
Good evening, my name is Adia Mishra, and the introductory course in the computer science pathway is Computer Science Essentials. It starts off by using Scratch, which is block programming, and you have built-in commands that students put together to create a code or a program. And right now they're working with robotics as well, and those are VEX robots.
So for CCNA 1 and 2, it's not a programming class. It's a networking class that we use wires and it's more of like a hands-on hardware course. It's at the end of the year we get certified to work at a Cisco site, and Cisco is a worldwide company, and we also get credits for Delta, which we can transfer to UC schools. And we also take a CCNA exam at the end of the year, which gives us our certification. And the hardware that we get is from Cisco, so it's a really cool program that we have. And the club NetGen is a club I created with two friends of mine. So this club is something that focuses on everything at the school, which is programming, engineering, and robotics. The first thing that we did as soon as we started this club was that I offered all the students that I teach them how to build a laptop with Raspberry Pi. And now we moved on to Scratch, and I'm helping them build a Google logo to enter into a contest. And after that, we will start working on the VEX robots and circuit boards and teaching them how to build it all together. We've been to several hackathons that we submitted 3 teams, and one of them won first place in the hardware category, which they made a robot say hello on a whiteboard. And the 2 other teams came within a point away from first place. Further on, we have computer museums coming up, and we also submitted into Skills USA, which is a national organization that we will go to competitions for.
The number of careers in computer science are expected to grow up to 12% by 2024. In comparison, the average of all other occupations are only expected to grow 7%. It's no secret that computer science is a rapidly growing industry. However, only 3% are women. I'm the president of the Girls Who Code Club, and basically I brought this to the school because in my last class, last year when I was taking Computer Science Essentials, only 4 of us were women, or girls. So Ms. Lewis helped me bring the national organization, Girls Who Code. They have clubs that we're allowed to bring to our school, and we're part of the whole organization. So we brought that here, and we have a whopping 8 people, but I feel like that is some kind of achievement. So we're currently working on making games through Scratch, since some of the girls are still new to it. But we're also having hackathons, which are co-ed. So we have boys and girls doing hackathons. We've been to 2 of them already. We went to Hack Merced at UC Merced. It was 24 hours long, and we didn't win anything, but that's okay because that's part of the learning process. We tried to create an app that scheduled your text, kind of like mail. If you've ever heard of Boomerang, the extension, it allows you to send emails ahead in time and schedule them, which is what I do for Girls Who Code sometimes. So we were planning on doing that. It didn't work that well, but that's okay. We've been to Gun Hacks too, which is what Ruth was talking about. It was a success. A lot of teams won. And the next one, I think, well, we went to conference. We went to LingCon, which is basically a conference about computational linguistics. And that hackathon is in April, but we're also going to be participating in H2O hacks, or H2O hacks. Sorry. But yeah, that's basically what we're doing, hackathons and stuff. So thank you.
Okay, and a couple of our students couldn't be here tonight, and one of the things they were to talk to you about was the fact that in February we have 2 robotics competitions coming up. So the work that they're doing now in robotics they'll be able to bring to Delta College and then also to the Skills USA, where they'll compete against all the kids within this region. So thank you for having us tonight. We're hoping that maybe in the spring we can come back and tell you about some of the other things that we've done. And thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies, and we'd love to have you back in the spring to tell us what else you've been doing. Item 7, recognition, District 4th through 9th grade spelling bee winners.
I'd like to ask Associate Superintendent Thor Harrison to come up. He's going to lead the name announcements, and we'd have the board come down on the floor to congratulate our winners.
All right, when I call your name, if you could come down here and just go down the line and shake our trustees' hands. In 4th through 6th grade, I have Roheen Prashnath from Wickland. Sidhu Sangpali from Altamont. Leon Walensky from Bethany. And Stephen Gudilano from Altamont. And in the 7th through 9th grade division, we have Ashlyn Royce from Altamont. We have Anvi Singh from Altamont. Hannah Witham from the high school, from Mountain House High School. And we have Manas Manutri from Bethany. And those are the scholars that advanced to the San Joaquin County Office of Education finals.
Good stuff. Thank you. If the students would like to go home and do homework or watch TV or whatever it is you do in the evening, feel free to do so. Thank you for coming out. Item 8, committee reports. District Advisory Committee.
We haven't had another meeting since the last board meeting.
Yes, we did.
6.
District English Language Arts Committee.
I'll report on that in the board reports.
All right. Education Extracurricular Committee.
I'll report on that also in the board reports.
All right. Facilities Committee, and I have a report. I just have to find it. Last night we held a Facilities Committee workshop. Associate Superintendent Harrison gave a presentation on other districts in our area who have adopted a new Board Policy 1300 and a new AR 1300, and what potential changes our board policies would require to adopt a similar policy. After discussion, the committee decided that staff would present a possible policy to the committee at our next meeting. That meeting will be held on December 21st at 6:30.
I can go back to these committees if you want me to. I found my notes.
Okay. We will go back to
DLAC?
DLAC Committee.
Okay, so the District English Learner Advisory Committee met on November 16th. Mrs. Busattil organized a wonderful event and filled the multipurpose room at Lammersville with students and families on a rainy night right before Thanksgiving. Mrs. Bogle demonstrated some reading techniques that parents can use to assist their children with their decoding and comprehension skills. English learner students who had received any type of award at their school were recognized by their vice principal. The next meeting of the District English Learner Advisory Committee is on February 15th at 6:30 in the multipurpose room at Lammersville School.
Thank you. Education and Extracurricular Committee.
Okay, so on November 29th, I attended the Education and Extracurricular Committee meeting with Trustee Goodrich. The meeting reviewed all aspects of our educational programs, concentrating mostly on elementary school to meet the questions of the audience. The parents heard an explanation of how small groups are formed and an in-depth explanation of iRead and Newslia were introduced. And we have some items to share. So this is from our district website, and I wanted to make sure that the public knows that this is on our website. There is a plethora of links for activities for parents to do with their students, ideas to help their students, and some of the activities that are going on in the schools. So I wanted to make sure that we all saw this. This is also from the website, right, Heather? So this is from our website as well, and it goes through the modules that are being taught. So parents do have access to all of this information that they can work on at home with their students. This is this week. I got very excited about this when I heard this is perfect that the young ladies were here talking about their hour of code, and everything they said was like way over my head. So this week is Hour of Code, and you heard a lot about it from the young ladies, and there's lots of information in here that's also, this is accessible on the website also? Okay, but it'll be in this presentation that will be on the website tomorrow. And here's the iRead that I mentioned, the family portal that they can access lots and lots of activities. And Trustee Goodrich, did you want to talk about MobiMax?
Yes, I was really impressed with the availability of the program called MobiMax that's going on, that's available to all of our K-8 students, and that many of our teachers are utilizing in the classroom to use as enrichment or as an intervention, and that the students can work on both in school and at home. And I wanted to actually encourage parents to make sure that they talk to their students' teacher, especially if they're finding skills gaps or if they find that their students are struggling, because this is something that they could use both at school and at home to supplement and reinforce instruction. And they work on it in school and they can use it at home. And there are also modules, not just in language arts and math, but there were also modules in science and social studies. And the students have logins that are the name of the child's school, and then the student's username and password is their student ID, and then their password that they use to log on to Google and other things here at school.
So parents should contact the schools to be able to get onto those programs if they have any problems. As with our board meetings, when the students are the highlight, you get a lot of people there. Mm-hmm. So this meeting's highlight was students from the Altamont STEM Club, and they were sharing the work that they've done. It's amazing to hear young children talk about coding, and they had their little Ozobots. Ozobots. Yes. And they had coded them to follow this blue line on the paper. Again, way over my head. So we did, and I have
And there was also a presentation by the special education team to help parents understand the special education process. It was a very complete meeting, very thoroughly done. So I really appreciated that.
Yes. So the entire team from the curriculum department are excellent presenters, and as a team, they were able to address all parent questions and concerns. And I encourage more parents to attend these meetings to hear some in-depth explanations of our programs and to have your questions and concerns answered and addressed. The next meeting is February 27th at 6:30 here in the district boardroom. And that concludes my report on the committee.
Policy Committee.
We're continuing to review policies. We're going to be meeting in January.
Thank you. Safety Committee.
We had a meeting on November 15th. Associate Superintendent Harrison and I put together a tabletop exercise for the committee. We broke them into groups. And I'd like to give a special thanks to the Mountain House Fire Department who attended the meeting and were very active participants in helping our administrators with putting together a command structure to manage this incident that we gave them. So it was a good meeting. We're continuing to work on some of the initiatives we discussed when we first met at the beginning of the year.
Thank you. The Wellness Committee has not met since our last board meeting. Our next meeting is December 13th at 3:30 right here in the boardroom. Moving on to governing board reports. Trustee Goodrich.
Thank you. In the past month, I've attended the Western Band Association competition, where I was impressed to see the Mountain House High School Marching Brigade and Color Guard take 4th in their division and 19th out of 39 bands from all over California. I also attended the Education and Enrichment Committee meeting, which we just spoke about, and I found that incredibly informative. There were so many different enrichment and intervention opportunities available to students in our district, and I think sometimes we are so blessed with so many opportunities here that we forget to be grateful for them. There are so many things going on here in Lammersville School District that do not happen in other districts, and I hope that parents take advantage of these opportunities and students take advantage of these opportunities and follow up with their teachers. I also reviewed several board policies in preparation for the board policy meeting in January. And finally, I attended the California School Board Association conference in San Diego, where I learned about new legal issues facing our schools, the suicide prevention programs, and a variety of hands-on CTE programs that might be beneficial to Mountain House High School students in the future, as well as a variety of other interesting topics. So that concludes my report.
Thank you. Trustee Clements.
I think I misspoke on the committee report. When I was preparing my notes, I forgot that I believe there was a district advisory committee did somebody mention that? So I was not prepared to speak to that, and I do apologize for that. I wasn't able to go to the CSBA conference. Work just wasn't going to allow it, but I understand you guys had a great time and you learned a lot. I wanted to apologize to the board and the district. I was late to the facilities committee meeting, and that does not reflect the respect that I have for the district staff for the effort that they put into those meetings, and I sincerely apologize. That's it.
Thank you. Trustee Balzerini?
Since the last meeting that I was at, I attended the DARE graduation at Quest and Altamont, and then, like everyone else, I went to the California School Board Association conference. I went out a couple days early. I had the board of directors meeting, which was very insightful, and then the delegate assembly, which I got to meet one-on-one with our region, and the delegates specifically from San Joaquin County talked to me about putting on a couple different events specific for board members in the area of special ed and the achievement gap. So that's something that I plan on coordinating in the next couple months, and I'll make sure that everyone on this board knows about it so they can attend if they would like.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk.
I'm finished typing. So, like Trustee Balzerini, I had to miss the last regular board meeting. Like most of the board members, I attended the CSBA Education Conference in San Diego. We all attended a lot of different workshops. The one that really resonated with me was the one on board policies that need to be changed. Every time someone in Sacramento wakes up, it causes work for our staff. And I feel bad for the staff that has to work on these. There are so many changes coming with the laws, and CSBA is working on a lot of policies. I know how many policies did we get in the past year, updates? Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How much?
Yeah. It's a huge amount of work. So when you see board policies that are on our website that may be a little old, it's because they're working on ones that the laws have needed them to be changed right away. There's a lot coming, Thor, sorry. Let's see. One of the highlights of the conference was hearing from the gubernatorial candidates, and I was very glad to hear we have, which I already knew, some educational allies that are candidates, and it was great to hear from them and their ideas on helping education. So in the last month and a half, since I missed the last meeting, I've been to several activities. I attended the homecoming football game, the DARE graduations at Wickland, Cuesta, Altamont, and the DARE graduation at Wickland, Cuesta, Altamont, and Bethany. These events are always impressive with the DARE Idol student-written songs, and to the depth of knowledge shown by the student essays. One of the most impressive aspects of these graduations is the obvious relationship built between Officer Abercrombie and the students. I've actually seen him shed a tear at some of them. I'm sure Trustee Pombo will also report on the biomedical science white coat ceremony. The students at that ceremony joined tables of adults who were mostly scientists and doctors that live in Mountain House, and talked about where they hoped to take the foundational training that they're receiving here in Lammersville Unified into their future. What they wanted to do ranged from nursing to researchers to various specialties of medical doctors. Examples of the high level of aspiration of these students was Benjamin Withaw, who wants to work with patients and develop prosthetic devices that will be driven by their brainwaves. Or Hussein Charawala and Nabil Muhammad, who want to be cardiologists. I don't think I knew what a cardiologist was when I was their age. Our biomedical students are very impressive, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was a cure for cancer or the ability to repair spinal cord injuries sitting in that room. I'd like to thank Assistant Superintendent Sherburne for preparing the slides that I used in my committee reports. I just emailed her last night about it, and she pulled that together pronto, so we could share that with the with the community. That was all committee reports. Last night I observed the District Facilities Committee. The only agenda item, as President Pombo has reported, was discussing the policies and the work that we would need to do on them if we were going to move in the direction of allowing alcohol, events with alcohol on our properties. The staff did a huge amount of research on this topic in order to address the concerns and requests for LUSD to allow adult events with alcohol. I'd like to suggest a pilot program, and I know I'm well aware that we cannot act on this tonight. This is only part of my report as I observed the committee last night. There it is. Sorry, I lost my place. My idea is that this pilot program would allow each foundation or PTA one event with alcohol per year. If successful, some sort of pilot program could be extended until the Professional Development Center is built. At that time, I believe that all events with alcohol should move to that building, as it is not a school building. It's a school district building, but not a school building. These are just my thoughts, and again, not a decision or a formal recommendation, as this issue can't be decided tonight because it's not on our agenda. But that was why I observed the facilities meeting last night. And that concludes my report. Sorry for the length.
Thank you. I attended the aforementioned band competition. I'm very proud of our band students and what Mr. Troy Rexell has been able to accomplish in a few short years. We are now competing with some of the top bands in the state and showing well against them. I also attended the aforementioned white coat ceremony. Very impressed with those students. I was sitting at one of the tables answering questions, and although I'm not a doctor, nor do I play one on TV, I did field some very thoughtful and thought-provoking questions from the students, and as I said, I was very impressed. There are some kids that were at that event that are going to go a long way, I'm sure. I also had the pleasure of judging the district spelling bee, another bunch of intelligent kids who we saw some of here this evening. I attended DARE graduations since our last board meeting at both Altamont and Cuesta, and I think it's a very worthwhile program, and I too am impressed with Officer Abbs, as he likes to be called, and his connection with the kids and really building something that I think is worthwhile. I also had site visits at Cuesta, Wickland, and Altamont, and again, teachers teaching, students learning. I saw a lot of the technology that we put in the last few years being put to good use, and very impressed. I also, along with most of my fellow board members, went to the CSBA conference. I attended many sessions on a variety of topics, including special ed, anti-bullying, high school sports, STEAM and STEM, and legal issues facing school districts. And you would not believe how many of those there are and how many are coming down the pike with new rules and regulations. And that concludes my board report. Receiving the public comments. The board shall give members of the public an opportunity to address the board either before or during the board's consideration of each agenda item. At a time so designated on the agenda, members of the public may also bring before the board matters that are not listed on the agenda of a regular meeting. The board may refer such a matter to the superintendent or designee or take it under advisement, but shall not take action at that time. The board may place the matter on an agenda of a subsequent meeting for discussion or action. Individual speakers shall be allowed 3 minutes to address the board on each agenda or non-agenda item, and the board shall limit the total time of public input on each item to 20 minutes. I do not see any speaker cards, and unless someone would like to get up at this time and make a public comment, we will move on to consent items for consideration. Board meeting minutes from both the regular meeting of November 1st and the special meeting of November 6th. Ratification of contracts under $25,000. Ratification of 2017-2018 hires. Ratification of resignations. Updated 2017-2018 fundraisers. Budget revisions and warrants. 2016-2017 annual development fee report. And acceptance of donations. NovaPro digital streaming device to Lammersville School from the NovaPro Ambassador Grant /Vivitech. $1,200 to the Lammersville School Garden from the California Fertilizer Foundation. And Subaru Loves the Earth program to Wickland School.
I move we approve the consent items for consideration.
Second.
Discussion by the board. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consent items, and now I shall defer to Trustee Lampel.
We would like to welcome the following new employees to our Lammersville family. Kristen Iaquinto, Coordinator of Instruction and Technology Integration. Mayela Garay, School Secretary. Marie Catherine Thrower, District Receptionist. And Kelsey Whitroft, 6th grade teacher. Welcome to those new folks.
Welcome.
Item 12, District Administrative Report, Superintendent's Report. Dr. Nicholas?
Yeah, I just have a couple of brief items. Today I was able to walk through the theater, which is in the final touch-up paint part of its construction, and very soon we will be able to do the punch list, and we're talking in the next couple of weeks. So we'll be able to give a tour to the board at its request. It is the most beautiful facility. It's really, truly impressive. I was not able to walk the CTE building, but what I've been told, it's about the same place in its construction. So we're very excited about that. The other thing that I'd like to announce is our district, through our board's leadership and through the hard work at the high school and with our partnership at Delta College, earned an award, which we will be celebrating officially at our January board meeting. Invitations went out for that today. However, a Golden Bell is a prestigious award. It's given to districts and programs for making a difference in the lives of children, and we were awarded this at the California School Boards Association conference, so I thought I'd let everybody get a chance to see. There's a lovely little pamphlet with all of the winners and a little blurb and excerpt about our program. In particular, I'd like to acknowledge Dr. Jessie Garza-Roderick and her support and partnership with Principal Faubert. We have approximately 95 kids who are in the program, additional 30 to 40 next year. We're expanding the offering, so we're excited, but we're looking at a high school of approximately 1,300 to 1,400 kids next year, and we'll have 120 kids in the program. That's about 1 out of every 10 who are going to be earning an AA while concurrently earning a high school diploma, so it's pretty awesome. We're very proud of that. So I just wanted to let everybody see the Golden Bell. If you missed your chance, it'll be sitting in the reception area to the left of the one we earned 2 years ago for our strategic plan. And so those of you that are not in the audience this evening are welcome to come by and say hi. And we will celebrate with all of our partners here local next board meeting. That's my report.
Thank you. District Enrollment Report, Dr. Nicholas.
Yeah, our enrollment presently is 4,898 students.
Thank you. District Maintenance and Operations Report, Mr. LeGrand.
Good evening. Thanks for having me. We had a very productive Thanksgiving break. All the sites received some extra cleaning by the custodial staff. We closed out over 30 work orders that week in 3-day span, so we had a lot of work done. That Monday of that Thanksgiving week, I did a final walkthrough with the architect for the security cameras. I received 100% construction documents and the specs last week. I gave them to Sean. Sean's reviewing them now, and once he gives the thumbs up from the IT standpoint, we'll be able to get it out in the street and start getting some bids out there, so hopefully sometime next week. I attended the facilities workshop last night, and I attended all 3 of the construction meetings today for the high school, the preschool, and Hanson. And I'd like to concur with Dr. Nicholas. The theater is beautiful. I've been in school business almost 30 years. I've never seen anything like it at a high school. So really, hats off to all you. If you get a chance to go by Altamont and Hanson, you'll really see a lot of progress. Altamont almost looks like a building already. And Hanson's going vertical on the second building. So good progress out there. Projects that we're working on, other than the cameras, flooring replacement at Bethany, and booster pump at Cuesta, and an outfield fence for the JV field at the high school, and a greenhouse for Lammersville, for Irene. So those are the 4 things we have in the pipeline, project-wise. So, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any update on the Wickland field?
The fields are, I feel like,
Same.
Thorne, I feel like we're chasing our tail sometimes with the fields, so we're looking for alternatives, I guess the best way to describe it, so.
Okay, thank you.
But it's really the wrong time of year to be doing field maintenance anyways. It's too cold. Anything you do is not going to germinate, but we do have to have a plan in place when spring rolls around. So that's kind of where we're at right now. I wish I had something more positive to say. So, anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item D, food service report ending October 31st. Ms. Hill?
She was not able to attend, but I told her I would go ahead and give the report, as I used to give this report many years ago. It's exciting to see that obviously our revenues are above our expenditures. We did want to point out that with the aging of the schools, we're finding more and more repairs are being needed, and so you're going to start to see the expenditures growing in the repair area as far as the dishwashers and the freezers and refrigerators. I know we have Mr. King taking a look at some of the high school refrigerator repairs that it seems too soon to be getting some of those repairs. So I'll be checking in with him again about what's going on over at the high school that's causing the need. I mean, Lammersville and Wickland I understand, but the high school's too new. So it's great to see. It's positive, and it seems that she will continue on that trend as the year goes.
So are the appliances covered under deferred maintenance also?
No, that's more for plumbing. If it's electrical related, yes. Deferred maintenance covers asbestos, pavement, roofing, painting,
So
but
this
not
comes from
necessarily
general fund?
equipment. Food services pays for their own equipment.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay, thank you.
I realize the high school is a few years old, but have we looked at the possibility that some of those things at the high school could be covered under the warranty?
That's exactly why I've been pursuing it with Mr. King.
Thank you. Williams Uniform Quarterly Report, July through August 2017. Dr. Nicholas.
There are no reports.
Thank you. Before we move on to action items, I would like to correct something that I inadvertently omitted, and that was the thanking of staff for all the work on the facilities committee, bringing all the research and stuff forward so that we could discuss the possible policy change on BP 1300. Thank you all. I appreciate it. Now, excuse me, we will move on to action items. Consider approval of 2017-2018 inter-district transfers request. Staff report?
None.
So moved.
Second.
I think Colin got it. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item B, consider approval of school-sponsored overnight trip for the Mountain House High School speech and debate team to James Logan High School, Union City, California, January 12th, 2018 through January 14th, 2018. Staff report?
All I have to say is we're enthusiastically recommending all of the field trips that are overnight trips that are here on the agenda B through G. We're also discussing a streamlined way of reporting this to the board, but we're going to be recommending affirmative on all of these overnight field trips.
Then can I take that as a staff report on B through G?
Correct.
Thank you.
Move to approve school-sponsored overnight trip from Mountain House High School speech and debate team to James Logan High School, Union City, California, January 12th through 2018 through January 14th, 2018.
Second. I did have a comment, though. Originally, I looked at this and I thought, why are they going overnight to Union City? And then I read the agenda. These kids are performing till like 10, 11 o'clock at night.
My only comment is I didn't realize when I was in high school and I was going to all these tournaments that I was actually costing the board had to approve all that stuff. I just thought we went.
Just happens.
Further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item C, consider approval of school-sponsored overnight trip for Mountain House High School speech and debate to La Costa Canyon Winter Classic in San Diego, December 8th through the 10th, 2017.
So moved.
Second.
I would like to comment, though. I'm glad to hear that you want to think of a way to streamline this, but these things need to come to the board in a more timely fashion. If we had any suggestions to any changes, they wouldn't be able to implement them because this is Friday. So,
true.
But I'm not objecting to it. I moved. So,
further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item D, consider approval of school-sponsored overnight trip for the Mountain House High School speech and debate team to CSU Fullerton Winter Classic, Fullerton, California, December 15th through and 16th, 2017.
So moved. Second. She beat me.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Consider approval of school-sponsored overnight trip for the Mountain House High School speech and debate team to the Claremont Invitational, Claremont, California, January 5th through the 7th, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
these kids are going to be tired.
I'm tired already.
They're busy.
They will at least be well-traveled.
Yes.
All I can say is I really hope that there are some trophies and hardware to add to the trophy case at the high school.
Fairly certain there will be. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Consider approval of school-sponsored overnight trip for Mountain House High School Health Occupation Students of America to the Hosta State Conference, Anaheim, April 4th, 2018 through the 8th.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
How exciting for these kids. I think this was the one where they're going by train. Most kids never travel by train. That's going to be so much fun for them.
Yeah. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item G, consider approval of school-sponsored overnight trip for Mountain House High School Music Department to Disneyland, April 12th through the 15th, 2018.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item H, consider approval of Julius Cordis architectural design. Staff report?
Yeah, this is just a formal step. We had Wes King from NMR present the design last board meeting. We just wanted to bring an action item forward and get the official go-ahead from the board tonight.
I'll move to approve the architectural design for Julius Cordis School.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item I, consider approval of first interim financial report for the 2017-2018 school year. Staff report?
I'll defer to our CBO.
Included a board memo with detailed information of what was located in the packet. Now, the packet is probably half of the first interim. The format hasn't changed. We do have positive certification. The information that interests and the easiest to read begins on page 283, and it does discuss in detail the multi-year projection, the estimation for growth, the estimation for the increased staff member needs, adding Hanson Elementary costs as we open up next year. Utility costs are included. It's just for the general fund. We're not required to do multi-year projections on any other fund in district houses. Do you have any other questions?
Thank you. I know how much work this is.
It was quite pleasant having to get it done too before the conference that you guys went to, but it was done.
And I appreciate the summary on your report. Thank you.
Good, good.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I second that. And thank you. I know how much fun financial reporting is.
Yes,
Thank
and
you very
I'm
much for
getting
you and your
used
team's
to
efforts.
speaking in language with words rather than numbers.
I haven't been allowed to speak to our CBO for 3 days as he
Oh.
finishes ours. So.
Oh.
Move to approve the first interim financial report for the 2017-2018 school year.
Second.
Further discussion by the board? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Item J, consider approval to open a public hearing on annexation number 4 to the Community Facilities District number 2014-1, Mountain House Facilities, public hearing to annex territory.
Move to open public hearing.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, so we're going to have to do a staff report with a script. So I'm going to kind of walk everyone through that. If you could hand that to President Palmer, please. I want to introduce Temidayo Solu, who represents Jones Hall, who's our attorney firm that works on this. She's here to help us in case we get out of whack here. There is a script to follow. So there's going to be a couple of steps process, so I want to just kind of break this down. Action item J, which is the hearing, goes with what on the script with the section 1. And that stays put with J until we get to 4, which is then action item K. Then if you flip, when you get to 7, that represents action item L and what needs to be said. And when you get to 10, action item M. The board clerk also has a role in its 2 parts. You have to gather, or officially called, you have to call the annexation-related items together, which is in that envelope. So all I have to do is say, you got it. And then on section 8, the clerk is going to open that up, and not now. When we get to 8, and you're going to read the results.
Okay.
And then if we screw anything up, Temidayo is here to help us through the process. And with that, Mr. President, I shall turn it back over to you. Action item J.
Should need something to throw, just in case? Just checking.
Mr.
Oh, and thank you. There is an updated Second Amendment to the Notice of Special Tax Lien that was given to you, and the reason for that is a map, language from a map had to be added to that, and the information came in after we had posted. Thank you.
These are the public hearings in this governing board proceedings for annexation of territory to the improvement area number 1 of the district's Community Facilities District number 2014-1 Mountain House School Facilities. The hearings are to inquire into the annexation of territory and the levy of special taxes in the annexation territory for the purpose of financing school facilities. Does anyone wish to file a written protest? If so, it must be filed with the clerk now. I will now entertain a motion and a second to open public hearings. We kind of did that, but I guess we can do it
Sorry.
again.
We're good?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. The motion having been seconded and approved, the public hearings are now officially open. We will receive comments and questions and any oral protests from any interested persons. When all comments have been received, the hearings will be closed. I will now entertain a motion and a second to close the public hearings.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The motion having been seconded and approved, the public hearings are now officially closed. We will now consider and adopt the following resolution calling for property owners' vote on the issues of the proposed annexation and levy of special taxes in the annexation territory. In anticipation of the election, the ballots have been completed by the property owners in the annex.
Hold on, you have to read the resolution.
Action item L.
Read-
Not yet.
Okay. I didn't know.
Item L.
Action item L.
All right. Consider approval of Governing Board Resolution 17-1804, submitting annexation of territory to the Lammersville Joint Unified School District Community Facilities District number 2014-1 Mountain House School Facilities and levy of special taxes to qualified electors.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Roll call, please.
Matthew Balzerini.
Aye.
Colin Clements.
Aye.
Ann Goodrich.
Aye.
Sharon Lampel.
Aye.
David Pombo.
Aye. In anticipation of the election, the ballots have been completed by the property owners in the annexation territory and submitted to the clerk. At this time, I ask the clerk to open the ballots and announce the results of the election.
Which part do I read? Yes. These.
Just add them up.
Oh, add them up.
Your calculator?
There's 1, 2 yeses. Is that right? Okay.
Well done.
Consider approval of Governing Board Resolution 17-18-5, declaring results of the special annexation election, determining validity of prior proceedings, and directing recording of the amended notice of special lien tax in connection with the annexation of territory to the Lammersville Joint Unified School District.
Yeah, you got to read
9.
9.
On the script.
Before I read the...
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry about that. The result of the election being unanimous in favor of the proposed annexation and the levy of special taxes, we will now proceed to the final actions for the district. Now I read M.
Now we're on. Yeah. Action item M.
Okay. Consider approval of Governing Board Resolution 17-18-05, declaring the results of the special annexation election, determining validity of the prior proceedings, and directing recording of the amended notice of special tax lien in connection with the annexation of territory to Lammersville Joint Unified School District Community Facilities District 2014-1 Mountain House School Facilities.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Roll call, please.
Matthew Balzerini.
Aye.
Colin Clements.
Aye.
Ann Goodrich.
Aye.
Sharon Lampel.
Aye.
David Pombo.
Aye. I will now entertain a motion and a second to introduce the ordinance entitled Ordinance of the Governing Board of the Lammersville Joint Unified School District levying special tax within improvement area number 1 of the Lammersville Joint Unified School District Community Facilities District 2000, number 2014-1, including certain annexation territory, and waive its full reading.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Roll call, please.
Matthew Balzerini.
Aye.
Colin Clements.
Aye.
Ann Goodrich.
Aye.
Sharon Lampel.
Aye.
David Pombo.
Aye.
I just feel like there should be more enthusiasm around this moment.
Somber.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just have one question.
Double aye. How's that?
Was the last thing I read from here
Correct.
in?
Correct.
Okay, because it doesn't list the resolution in this one, but that's fine. Okay. Consider approval of Measure L expenditures, cost not to exceed $80,000. Staff report?
Yeah, this is one of our founding CTE programs, career pathway programs. This is to buy equipment that will be put into the engineering part classroom of the CTE building in the new wing.
Move to approve expenditures of Measure L, cost not to exceed $80,000.
Second.
Again, got that one.
I think so too.
Discussion by the board? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Consider approval of CSBA Delegate Assembly nomination. Staff report?
Every year we, at this time, we give people an opportunity to play this role or put someone forward, or we can choose not to. It depends on people's interest.
Who has performed this in the past? Or
I was a delegate at once. This is Delegate Assembly, CSB. So they open up to all school districts in the county. After being at the conference, I know that there's a lot of people running this year. I think there's 3 seats, and there's quite a few people running this time.
So in other words, we're asking if anyone on this board is interested in
Becoming a delegate.
becoming a delegate.
Yep.
I am not.
Not at this time.
I might be interested, but I have no time to do that.
Nor am I interested at this time. So I guess we will move on to item Q.
So direction to the superintendent is you're not nominating anyone, so we are getting formal direction to, at this point, we will take all 5 will take a pass.
Correct.
Thank you.
Item Q, consider approval of the recommendation to hire Kelsey Withoff with a provisional internship permit, multiple subject credential, 6th grade Bethany School. Staff report?
We recommend the board approve this PIP.
I'll move to approve the recommendation to hire Kelsey Withoff with a provisional intern permit, multiple subject credential, 6th grade Bethany Elementary School.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Information and discussion, CSBA workshop dates. Staff report?
Staff has been in contact with a CSBA facilitator, and some dates have come forward. There's one option, and then some new dates came in, I believe, yesterday. So the board could choose either one or both of an evening session, a one evening session, or do 2 back-to-back sessions on January 3rd or January 4th, or a combination of January 3rd and 4th. Tuesday, February 13th, Wednesday, February 14th, Thursday, February.
Whoa.
I'm just giving you options.
Yeah. What are those dates?
13th, 14th, 15th, or 17th of February. So you have January 3rd or 4th, or February 13, 14, 15, which is a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or a Saturday, which is February 17th.
And just to note, that is a Saturday of a holiday weekend. That's President's Weekend.
And don't want anybody to miss that February 14th is also
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
we are looking at either one 6-hour session or 2 3-hour sessions, is that correct?
Correct. We could do 6 hours, 3 hours. It's the board's choice. She kind of gave us some options. So if we wanted to do a half session, we could do any of those evenings for 3 hours, or we could come up with a combination of 2 3-hour evenings.
I have a pre-planned, non-refundable trip booked for that's the week of the 3rd and 4th.
Okay, so then we're looking at February. I can't do the 13th.
I can do I'm available the 15th. I would really prefer not to do Valentine's Day.
The 15th is also a DLAC meeting.
Is anyone opposed to doing a Saturday on the 17th?
Fine by me.
Fine with me.
That's fine.
That sounds good then. So that would be from 9 to 3 on Saturday the 17th.
Yes.
Yes.
And this will not be facilitated by the same person, right?
No.
Thank
He
you.
no longer works for CSBA.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
So that would be a no?
That would be a no.
So we're saying 9 to 3?
I think everybody else can speak up, please. I think we do the 6 hours, and if we decide we're done in 3, we can say thank you and move on. Otherwise, we can go ahead and do the 6 hour like we were supposed to in the first place, or like we did in the first place.
I think that's a good idea, and we can, like caucus at lunchtime and decide, rather than plowing through 6 hours of useless time.
Mm-hmm. I think that's a good plan. Okay.
Okay.
Item 15, calendar. Wednesday, December 13th is the Wellness Committee meeting right here at 3:30. Thursday, the 21st, is the Facilities Committee meeting here at 6:30. Monday, the 25th of December through January 8th is winter break. There's no school for students. Monday, December 25th through the 29th is Christmas holiday. The district office will be closed. Monday, January 1st, the New Year's holiday, the district office will be closed. And Wednesday, January 17th is our next regularly scheduled governing board meeting. In just a moment, we will be, we will be adjourning to closed session where we will discuss personnel, expulsion, negotiation matters, conference with labor negotiators, conference with legal counsel, conference with real property negotiators.
Move to adjourn a closed session.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are now adjourned to closed session. Thank you, everyone, for